Welcome back to the channel. December was a pretty miserable month. Started off with lots of early morning set-offs at 8 o'clock-ish when its sun was only just about rising, and didn't see an awful lot compared to what I was hoping to see. So a few walks down the canal and around that area. Nice to see the wrens. Not often you see them out in the open. And the cormorant's on its usual perch on the canal there, but I went a little bit further and saw the roe deer. It's usually 6 or 7 of them kicking around, but they just disappear into the undergrowth. If it wasn't for that white tail, I probably wouldn't even spot them with my naked eye. They certainly spot you though. And within seconds they're gone. But you can always rely on a little egret around this area. It'd been better if it was a cattle egret with cows instead of a little egret with horses, but not to worry. Yeah, that horse was chewed away at that fence post, probably after minerals I would guess. And then the good old herons with a huge wingspan. Quick trip to Kendal shopping. The usual goosanders and cormorants and grey herons. Keep missing the dippers and kingfishers, but I'll see them soon, I'm sure. Oh, and don't forget the grey wag. There's always a grey wagtail on the Kent. We had a little walk, a little bit different. We parked up at Newby Bridge and did the new walk, the path they've put in up to Lakeside. It's only about a mile long. You get there really quick, but this little contraption's for horse riders to dismount. And then there's another one at the other side of the bridge for them to get back on their horses. Didn't see any horses, of course, but it's a lovely walk. The robins everywhere at the moment. And the Windermere Rowing Club on Windermere. I haven't seen them before, but looks so they've had a good row. Excuse me. Quick look round Heybridge, but there's nothing much there. Again, just the usual birds near the feeders. And back home again, and a field full of curlew. Seem to always be in the same place, so they must be getting lots of insects or worms, whatever it is that they eat. Probably worms. Managed to get a shot of them flying past as something flew in and disturbed them all, but they went straight back again. Bit of daylight for a change. Brought all the motorists out, look. Another trip to Leighton Moss. Redshank. It's quite unusual this to see snipe out in the open, and we were there again this weekend and they were there in the exact same place, so that was nice to see, because they're nearly always it's camouflaged to hell and you can't spot them even when you know where they are. So that was good. It's a bit like bit more like the usual viewing that you get of a snipe, and even that's out in the open almost. Little egrets everywhere. And lapwing, hundreds of lapwing kicking around. Jelly ear, in good condition. And a water rail, nearly always under cover, and this one didn't come out from its cover, but we watched it for quite a while. Then the Marsh Harriers were giving a good show at Leighton Moss. There seems to be a good year for pintails at Leighton Moss as well. There was a good number of pintails on the lake. A good old thrush. But then we had quite an interesting time. We were sat at the causeway hide watching an otter, really distant, playing with its fish, or eel, whichever it was that it had caught. But it wasn't that long before a Marsh Harrier took a bit of an interest and actually came over and had a bit of a go at the otter to try and steal its fish. Didn't succeed, but it was interesting to see. That'll be coming along shortly. Yeah, there's the otter playing with its food. Then the Marsh Harrier came in to see what the action was. To say it didn't succeed, but it's having a good try. Go on. I think if it came to it, the otter would have won this one. So hard trying to keep it in frame when using a 600mm with a 1.4 times converter on, handheld. Not easy. They were a long way away. Finally gave up and went looking for something else. Yeah, nice bullfinch coming up. That's, if you look at its claws, it's obviously got some kind of a disease, I think. Green finch. Great tits. Goldfinch. Chaffinch. It's certainly quite lively by the feeders. On the way back we just pulled in the lay-by and saw the fallow deer. Great big herd of them, and all just more or less stood still for ages. Seem to be lots of bucks, stags or whatever they are with it when the fallow deer. All getting along quite well, lots of young ones amongst them. And back up on the Kent, shopping again. More or less the same things again. Little egret. Little egret's quite unusual on the Kent, apparently. People kept running up to me to tell me they've just seen a little egret, which I probably looked a bit nonplussed because it's a very common bird round our way. Probably one of the most common. And back to Leighton Moss on Saturday for the last thing of the year, I think. Very misty. Especially when you're using telephoto lenses all day, it just compresses the compresses everything. Keen bird watcher, of course, and local. On the Sky Tower. Gives you an idea what the weather was like. God, I need to clean my sensor looking at those images. Looks like a good bit of dust on there. Snipe out again. Great egret. Huge compared to a little egret. Just so misty. One of the Marsh Harriers, you must have seen 4 or 5 at least on Saturday. Another quite unusual thing coming up here was a grey heron and a Marsh Harrier sat looking at each other for a good 15 minutes. Don't know what they were doing. It was like a staring out competition. In the end, the Marsh Harrier took off. But, I don't know what the interest was there. Anyway, December's been a pretty ropey old month. But I'll just say now, Happy New Year to anyone who's watched it this far. Well done as well. Hope to see you next year. And who knew Robin's had tongues that long? Wow.